Hi guys, welcome to another video. First of all, let me start off by saying I am so sorry that it's been so long since I posted a video. Obviously, if you see my last video, you'll know that I'm going for my HGV license. So there might be some people there who've been waiting for updates and things to find out how it's going. I am a bit further down the line than I wanted to be before I made another video, so I've got a lot of news with regards to it, but it's in the past from my point of view, so it's been and done. But I will give you a full and comprehensive overview of what I've been through, my frustrations that I've had with it and things like that, so that you know what to expect and what sort of prices I've had and what money I've spent on it so far. The reason why I've been away so long, for anyone who's interested, is because not an excuse, just an explanation, is I have had like grievances in the family and things like that. So whilst I'm doing the couriering work and the HGV driving and having to deal with family things, I just haven't had time to YouTube, unfortunately. So yeah, so I apologise for that. And so coming up in this video, I will go over exactly what sort of process I've gone through thus far to along my HGV learning. So I can tell you where I'm at now. I've done all the theories. I've done the medical, obviously, to start with. Got my licence back from the DVLA, done my theories, and I've done my reverse part one of the practical exam, basically, which is the bay reversing and coupling and uncoupling. I've done that. I'll go through all the stages comprehensively and what I've done thus far and how I got on in each stage as well. But so just keep watching for that. That's coming up in this video. What am I doing today? Today I am on my way to Gloucester Airport, or Cotswold Airport, sorry, to collect a pallet and take it to Swansea. So that's where I'm off to today. We'll catch up with you when I'm a bit closer to my collection point, and I'll let you know how we're getting on. All right. So for now, all right, stick with me. Motorway montage coming up. Bear with me and I'll see you shortly. Ooh. Somebody's having a bad day. To it. Crack on. So I'm nearly there now at the Cotswold Airport, about 5 minutes away. Never been to this one before, so quite interesting. Yeah, so once I've collected, because I don't like going into places and recording, because some people be funny, you know. But I'll catch up with you once I'm loaded and we're setting off for Swansea. Alright, so see you shortly. Alright, so we're all collected here at Cotswold Airport. Yeah, night. Oh, hello. There we go. Right, quite a dainty little airport. Never been here before, as I said. Very nice. Although the access road, as you can see, is a bit of a twat, but never mind. Right, so it wasn't a pallet I collected, it was literally one little box. So, hey, don't bother me. Don't matter if it's too small. If it's smaller, doesn't matter if it's smaller, as long as it's not any bigger. Well, to the point where it's not too big for the van. Yeah, that is weird though. I mean, it's worth mentioning. No, it's not weird, but it's worth mentioning that, you know, sometimes when you get orders and you get collections and it's not as described, you know, sometimes it can cause you problems, as the initiated will know, and it can be very frustrating. For example, if it's not as described and it's like unsuitable for your vehicle, you've obviously got to make phone calls and let people know that it's, you know, it's not going to happen, you know, which is never a phone call anybody wants to make or receive. But, you know, at the end of the day, if it's not as described, then it's not your fault. You know, somebody's made a mistake down the line. They've said it's one thing, it's a certain size, it's a certain weight. It's not as described, and it's and it causes problems. It can be very frustrating. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so I've got this box on board now, headed to Swansea. So yeah, we're on our way. Alright. I won't cram all the information I've got in this video into this little section. I'll spread it out so you can have a bit of spend a bit of the journey with me as well. Oh, I've had comments from some people about, obviously I've got clearly an English accent. I've got a tricolour hanging in the back. So what's the story there? Well, to answer people who've commented and anybody who's wondering, right? I was born in Ireland. I identify as Irish. I don't care if people use words like plastic paddy and all that. I've heard it all before. So if you're going to troll me down in the comments, don't bother. I don't care. Right? So I identify as Irish, born in Ireland. I was raised in Milton Keynes in Buckinghamshire when my parents moved me over here against my will when I was 2 or 3 years old. So, but anyway, don't have any problems. I love Milton Keynes. Like I say, I'm Irish. I identify as Irish. But if anyone asks me where my hometown is, it's Milton Keynes in Buckinghamshire, because I was a boy there. So that, yeah, that's the situation. That's where the accent comes from. And now I'm living in South Wales. and I absolutely love it. I love living in South Wales. I will die living in Wales. That's a fact. I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's the story between the accent and the tricolour. That's why this and that, right? For any, so there you go, fully explained for anyone who's interested or cares, right? But anyway, back onto today's shift. Right, we're on our way to Swansea. We've just left Cotswold Airport and we're going to make our way down. Right. Oh dear. Right. Yep. So I'll catch up with you again in a little while when I'm a bit further down the road. Alright. Cheers for now. Sat nav, you twat. Can't be having any of that shyster while I'm driving a lorry. I'll be right into trouble. There'll be no 3-point turns for that. Okay guys, we're on the M4, just past Newport, about an hour away from the destination, according to SatNav. So we're making good progress. Right, so getting on to this HGV progress that I've made and what I've gone through and what's happened so far, and let's get started. When I left you last time in the last video, I had just done my medical, right? And I sent it off. Now, I had big problems with my medical. Well, not big problems, they're just frustrating delays with it. As I said to you in the video, I had the doctor who did my medical had to put in the form of a medical condition that I had way back when, right? Well, because of that, the DVLA, in their wisdom, decided they wanted to send it away to the GP for further. They wanted to get my papers back off the GP with regards to it. So yeah, they sent the medical form that was done to my GP. My GP contacted me to go in for a sit-down meeting with them to go over what was needed to be going over. Then the GP had to send away to, I don't know, NHS head office or whatever for my papers with regards to this condition that I had. Those papers had to come to my GP, which took forever, and then my GP had to send it back to the DVLA, which again took forever because I was badgering the GP nearly every day, ringing them, what's happening with these papers, have you got these papers back, are you sent them back to the DVLA? I got a different answer every day. Yes, we've got them. They need to be looked at, then sent back. No, we haven't got them. So thanks for that. Castle surgery in Nice. But anyway, eventually they said, yeah, we've received them, they've been looked at, they've been sent back to the DVLA. Brilliant. Okay, so then the DVLA received them, no problems whatsoever with any of my paperwork, so they signed me off. Brilliant. But because of the delays with my GP and the NHS, which I'm not criticising the NHS because the NHS is a wonderful thing sometimes, but yeah, the delays, what should have been a 2 or 3 week process turned into 10 weeks of delay. So that was annoying, as you can imagine. But anyway, license came back. So as soon as it came back, the day it came back, landed on the doormat. I'm on the .gov website, booking my theory tests. Now the theory tests, obviously I had to spend some money on some study material. I think I spent about 20 quid or something on some study materials, which was well worth it. If you're going for it, I would definitely recommend getting the study material. I don't know how anyone else would do it. I mean, you can't just magically have this knowledge that you're going to need for your theory test. I mean, there might be experienced people tell you this, that and the other, but they're not going to be the answers they're looking for on the test. So yeah, I spent about 20 quid on study materials, which was well worth it. So the multiple choice theory test cost 26 quid. The hazard perception test, that cost 11 quid. And the CPC case studies test is that costs 23 quid. So yeah, so there's the prices for you that it costs per go. So obviously the multiple choice, if you've done it, it's pretty much the same as a car theory test. It's just there's a few different questions because of its HGV, but that's all in the study material again, so well worth it. The hazard perception test, now for me, I passed my driving test in 2002, so that predates when the hazard perception test came in for the normal driving test. So I'd never done one before. I'd never done a hazard perception theory test with it which I found really boring, if I'm honest. I mean, as an experienced driver, you know, you see these videos and you're like, yeah, that's it, yeah. You see that, yeah. You can see the hazards coming a mile away. But I say that, but I did fail my hazard perception test the first time round. But and now, in my own defence, it wasn't because I didn't see the hazards. I clicked on the right hazards. My problem was I double clicked, and the system didn't like that. For 5 of the videos that I did on my first test, it didn't like that. It kicked it back saying unacceptable clicking pattern, and it marked me for no points for those 5 videos. So don't double click on your hazard theory perception test, alright, because you might fail, which I did, really frustratingly. So I'll know, and it was definitely because of the clicking pattern, evident in the fact that because out of the 19 questions you get, or 19 videos that you get, on the other 14 videos that I did, I smashed them. I got the hazards no problem, you know, to the point where I only needed, on the 5 that I was marked on 0 because of the clicking pattern, I only needed 2 points per video and I would have passed. So yeah, so it was definitely, don't double click on your hazard perception test. So obviously I failed that, so I had to retest on the hazard perception test theory test. So that was another 11 quid for me. If you don't double click, you won't have to pay that. Right. So the theory tests in total with the sorry, traffic happening here. Yeah. Right, yeah, so oh god, where was I? Yeah, so the theory test, the costs of the theory tests in total with the study material, £115. So sorry, no, that was with the medical as well, the cost of the medical as well. So so £20 for the study material, £26 for the multiple choice, £11 for the hazard perception theory test, and the £23 for the CPC case studies. So I got them all out of the way, right? So no problem, I've done that. And then I thought, so I've got me 3 certificates in hand, and I'm really worried that I'm going to be calling around by driving schools, and I'm going to get told that I'm going to have to wait forever. This was my fear at the time, that I'm going to have to wait forever for to get a spot for the practical training. And that was the case with a lot of the places that I rang around and started looking for. Obviously, I live in South Wales, in the Swansea area, so I rang around a lot of driving schools, HGV driving schools near me, to find out how long I'd have to wait. A lot of them that I rang, the first couple that I rang, they said, oh, you're looking the end of September, October, I got right, but then I got lucky. I ran a driving school in Llansamlet, in sort of in between Neath and Swansea, and they are absolute dream so far. I won't mention their name because I haven't asked their permission, and I don't want to, you know, maybe because I've still got to go back there, so maybe I'll ask them next time if I can. But because I'm only going to sing their praises because they've been magic. So I rang this driving school up near me. I said, how long's the waiting time? He asked me very pertinent questions. He said, you know, where are you up to? What situation are you in? And I told him I've got my 3 certificates. I've done everything. I'm literally looking for the practical side of it. He asked me what my experience was. I told him that I had experience reversing a van with a trailer and a car with a trailer. Quite a lot of experience in that. He said that would help me out a lot. This is the guy who told me over the phone. So he said, yeah, with regards to with them, they sort of assess where you're at and where you need to be, and before they start telling you, they don't just give blocks. You're right. You know, a week is going to cost you this, or 2 weeks is going to cost you this, or whatever. Right? Because obviously, part 3, the practical part of the HGV learning process is module 3, which is module A, which is the bay reversing and coupling and uncoupling, and then there's 3B, which is out on the road driving. So he says to me, right, come down. This was last Monday. Last Saturday I was ringing him, and he said, come down on Monday. We'll assess you absolutely free to see where I'm at. And I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Said, come down Monday, jump in the wagon, and we'll assess where you're at. Right? So that's what I did. Following Monday, I goes down. I go in. You know, here's what I'm here for, and all this and the other. They said, yeah, brilliant. Right, so they set me up. They got me out in a lorry. They got one of their training guys to obviously sit in with me, in case, you know, from their point of view, what I said on the phone could have been, you know, I could have been lying a little bit, but I wasn't. So he jumped in with me, and he said, you know, he went over a little bit, because I'd never sat in a HGV cab before in my life, before this point. But I told him the guy who was put with me to train, he said, I explained to him that I've reversed a car, and he said that's going to help me a lot as well, so we'll see where you're at. So he ran through the reverse exercise with me. He did it himself first with me in the passenger seat, and said, that's what you've got to do, here's what you've got to do. Yep. So then I had a go myself, and I did all right. First time in it, doing it all right. And he said, I'm not going to say I did it perfect, because I didn't. First time, that would have been amazing. I'm not that guy. But I had a go, and like I say, the theories and principles of reversing a trailer with a van and a trailer are not that different from reversing a lorry and a trailer. So I knew the, you know, bend it and mend it theory and all that. So, and he said, after doing it the first time, he said, yeah, no problem, just do it a couple of more times. And after the second time of me doing it, I was in the sort of bay in the lorry doing my bit, and he was sort of getting on with life. He was going to talk to his mates and things like that, sort of glancing at me every now and again while I'm doing it, but he was more than happy. He goes into the man in the office and says, yeah, this guy, he's all right with the reversing. So they done my part 3A. They did that with me there on the day, Monday morning. So had a bit more training with the reverse exercise, maybe another half hour, 20 minutes, half hour of that. And then he showed me the coupling and uncoupling. Maybe another half hour training there, done. And they came out, the DVSA approved guy came out and with his IVs on and assessed me, no problem, bang, knocked it out. So 3A done. So that's where I'm at. Now I'm booked in for the road training. I'm going to obviously have a week's worth of training before I do my tests. Obviously the 3A section, I didn't need much training on that bit, maybe, but I'm going to need and want, very comprehensive training before I do my test, my practical 3B out on the road test, which is the final step. So so the cost of the practical, the training they're doing for me for £2,000. So, and I think that's pretty reasonable, because that includes the bit of training that I had for the 3A. It includes the training for the CPC module 4 and the on the road training. So I think, maybe some people might comment and say, "Oh, you've been done" or whatever, but the people are, in my opinion, they're very good and very experienced at what they do, and I'm impressed by the whole operation they've got going on there. So even if that is expensive, if you think that's expensive, I don't, if I'm honest, for what I'm getting. For what I'm getting for my money, I'm quite happy. So the practical training is costing £2,000. Now the tests, with the costs of the test for the practical side of it, the 3A is the bit that I've done, £40. The on the road test is 141 quid, yeah. So and then you've got the module 4 CPC, which is 55 quid. So that's what that's costing me. So the total cost of the practical training is training and tests is £2,236. So yeah, a bit expensive, maybe, but for what I'm getting, like I say, I'm quite happy. Is that so? With the theory and the practical, the total cost is, I think I've included the medical. I've written it down here, but I've included medical, which I didn't include because I've done that in the last video. But anyway, the overall cost is £2,351. That's what I've paid, because I've paid for the practical training now as well. So, £2,362 if you double click on the damn hazard perception test. So don't do that, right? So that's what the cost of all of it is. And like I say, that's the cost of it. That's where I'm at. I'm very happy with the crowd that I'm going with. I'm not going to mention the name because, like I say, I don't, without permission, I'm not going to do that. But very happy. yeah, so that's where I am, and hopefully, like I say, I wanted to do more comprehensive series, but I haven't been YouTubing as much as I'd want to. If I've missed anything out, if you've got any questions about the journey I've taken so far, drop them in the comments below. I'll try and answer them if I've come up against anything like that. So yeah, but for now, with the HGV training, that's where I am. I am now not too far away from Swansea, but I'm going to love you and leave you there, because I want to chill out a bit before I drop this box pallet in Swansea. And so there, I'll leave you there for now. Right, so like I say, if there's any questions about the HGV course so far, drop them in the comments below. Like and notification. You know how YouTube works. Oh yeah, you know how YouTube works. I'm not going to go over it yet. Do all the good things for me, right? And I'll catch you next time. Peace.